Good morning, friends. It's nice to be with you today. I am going to show you this morning how to make a Good Friday and Easter garden. Miss Laura and I were thinking of things that you could do at home that would help celebrate Easter. So here's an idea. You need a pan, can be any size. This one is an old 9 by 13 pan. And in the bottom of the pan, you want to put some sand or dirt or rice or beans, anything that's going to allow you to arrange items. I've collected a bunch of rocks from outdoors, so you can see my rocks in here. And I also collected some twigs. So I thought, well, I'll put those around in my garden too. I'm not really sure how it's going to look, but this is the nice thing. You can kind of just create it. So you can arrange your rocks and twigs or anything else you might find into your Good Friday scene. But then I thought I need a tomb. I was trying to think what I could use for a tomb. Maybe a cardboard box. I thought about building it with rocks, but that would be really hard. And then I thought a butter box. So I ripped out one side of the butter box and I taped the end. And I thought that might work for a tomb. But then, of course, it still says butter, so I didn't want that. So I found some gray cloth, and I thought I could tuck it around the tomb so it looks more like a cave, like the rock. You could use paper, you could use a brown paper bag, you could paint a cardboard box. Probably a lot of ways you can make a tomb. But I made a tomb. And I found a very large rock that's going to be the rock that goes in front of the tomb. So I thought, what can I do for people, or what can I do for Jesus? And I found a clothespin, but you could use a pencil or a spoon or anything. And I found some white cloth, and I thought I'm going to wrap up the figure that looks like that's going to be Jesus in the grave clothes and put that in the tomb. And then I'm going to take my big rock and put it in front. So now I have my Good Friday scene. And then all day Saturday, it's going to be like this. But the really exciting part is going to be decorating it for Easter. So we'll skip ahead 2 days and we're going to pretend that today is Easter. Well, the first thing I thought is this doesn't look very joyful or celebratory. So I found some pretend flowers, and I thought I would set them up around my tree area here to make this look more joyful and celebratory. I found a butterfly. I know this is like a giant butterfly, but you know, you can kind of be creative with it. And then something I did ahead of time, which I didn't tell you about, is that each one of these rocks that I put in my garden, I painted a flower on the other side. So I'm not going to do it up now because it'll take a long time, but if I were to turn over all these rocks, I would have a big flower garden. There's some others that I made. So you can decide if you would want to do that, or you could use real flowers and create. And then I thought about the disciples who come and find Jesus, especially I thought about Mary coming early and finding the tomb empty. So I've got some more clothespin people. And you know, it's not very hard to do this. You just take a piece of cloth, a little rectangle works well, and a yarn, and I just wrapped it around and I tied it. So I thought, these are the disciples coming to the tomb. But of course, Jesus isn't there. So I guess I'll have to put the stone off to the side because I don't have room here. And then I get to take Jesus out, and I'm going to take the grave clothes and I'm going to leave them in the tomb because the Bible story tells us that they looked in and they didn't see him, they just saw the grave clothes. I have to decide, maybe I'll put Jesus in this because I don't want Jesus to not have anything on. And you can figure out how you want to do that. And then we can make an Easter scene. So we are hoping that you will do this too. And if you want to take a photo of your Good Friday garden scene and a photo of your Easter scene, or on Sunday morning on Easter when we have our time together, we would love to be able to look at all of your Easter gardens. Thank you, friends.